Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. It's your favorite podcast you've never heard of, the Midcard Mafia, with host Tagged Up Tyler and the Synthwave Cowboy. We're here and we're going to be talking about TNA's first ever impact live airing live from June 4th, 2004. And we're going to get started with all of this and more. We're going to get into this. This is our first inaugural episode. We plan to try to release these once a week, maybe. Hopefully we can get them out.
We got two here, though, Tyler.
You got 2 words for us?
We're taking over.
All right. Well, as we get into it, you want to talk about the Wrestling Observer from this week?
Shit. Getting a little crazy on me. Okay.
I told you, man.
A little crazy.
I told you.
Go to 2023 so we could be extremely out of date from what we're actually trying to talk about.
All right. As we pull up the May 31st. And we see Jeff Jarrett had a heart scare last week that resulted in his undergoing a 4-hour quadruple. Oh, Jerry Jarrett, not Jeff Jarrett. Oh, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. I did not know that. This is Jeff Jarrett's dad who did this.
I would say Jeff Jarrett was in the fucking match. Spoiler.
Yeah, spoilers for the episode if you guys have not watched this yet. Chapter 2 of TNA's history begins next week with the promotion's debut on national television with Fox Sports next, approximately 2 years after it was founded. So close to right, like they're building the Slammiversary right now. I believe it's the first Slammiversary. But honestly, I think this is awesome. Also, from the Wrestling Observer, it states that TNA shows will be taped in Orlando at Universal Park, and it appears that tickets will be free with park admission, so they can try to usher in tours to watch the tapings. Dave Meltzer also quotes here that it's going to be really difficult to have a hot crowd that way with fans who don't actually know wrestling and storylines. This is going to be a long wandering process on how committed Panda Energy is to the process of keeping TNA afloat. So, I mean, these are just some of the things that TNA Dave Meltzer talked about in TNA. A lot of it, other stuff that Dave Meltzer talked about was Ring of Honor looking to make a big push this summer in storylines and angles to try and grow the company. Multiple New Japan Pro Wrestling executives were walking around backstage at the Judgment Day pay-per-view this year. A dream match is apparently in the works at Pro Wrestling Noah at the Tokyo Dome. It's floating around that Michiharu Misawa and tag team partner Keiji Muto, and a third part. Oh, it sounds like there's gonna be that actually sounds like a sweet match. Michiharu Misawa versus Keiji Muto, and they bring in guest partners. I don't know. The Japanese wrestling fan to me thinks that's sweet. We might have to find that match, and we might have to do a review on that match one day.
I'd be honestly interested.
But let's get into this first episode of TNA Impact on June 4th, 2004 here. And the opening, did you have any notes here about the opening, buddy?
I actually really like the opening. It just kind of like screams TNA.
It really does. I feel you. I totally get what you're saying, man. It just gets you hyped. You're ready for all the action that they're about to bring. It's hyping up the past 2 years of what the company has been doing.
I do love the early 2000s, like After Effects being used on some of the wrestlers, though. Like they're just testing them out, like the static and the flames. There's just so much fucking early 2000s fucking.
It's
After
so
Effects,
sweet, bro.
I love it though. Impact, I'm not sure if that's Impact font, but it might be. So.
If Impact's in like a bold Impact font, that'd be really funny. The graphic designer in me should know that, but.
The dude who knows a lot about fonts for no fucking reason should know that as well, but I don't. Okay, I love the six-sided ring. Something I wrote about. I fucking love this thing. I love this arena. It's fucking awesome.
The Impact Zone from 2004 to like 2006 is so iconic. Both there's a heel entranceway and a face entranceway. It felt.
Why does someone else do that, dude?
I don't know. Maybe real talk. It's probably because they wouldn't be able to sell as many tickets. but man, it looks so good, bro. It just looks awesome.
It's fucking amazing. Sorry for the cursing, folks, but I love this. I love it so much. It's so cool. I love every part of it. I love the camera angles they get from the back of the tunnels.
I love the green lasers. This is a very special. This is a very special set in my heart, man. Like I absolutely adore this set. I think it's so good.
And the 6-sided ring needs to be brought back into like mainstream and not just like random AAA matches here and there. Like I love it. I love it. I love it all, dude.
I agree. And we have our first match about to start here for Impact here, and I believe our opening match is Team Canada versus Team International. I love Team Canada. As a kid growing up, I thought they were sweet. I loved Eric Young, Bobby Roode, Scott D'Amore. As an adult watching, he just looks like your drunk uncle, way too hyped at the Super Bowl party. Look at Scott D'Amore with that flag, bro. Tell me that's not your drunk uncle. Petey Williams,
definitely your drunk uncle. I'm gonna be real. I'm not a fan of anyone in this fucking match.
Bro, Petey Williams is awesome. Petey Williams is the original Canadian Destroyer inventor, man.
Sometimes the original isn't the best.
Man, Bobby Roode's sweet. He's not quite beer money yet, but he's still, like, you could see him, and Scott D'Amore just yet again in the camera, just drunk uncle, way too hyped about his team getting the touchdown at the Super Bowl.
He looked like Joey Styles really let himself go. Sorry.
Scott D'Amore is just fat Joey Styles. Oh my god.
Genuinely.
Oh my god, that's fucking funny. But Team International, Amazing Red. This is another TNA X Division guy.
Hate him.
Yeah, I was never a fan of him. He's sweet and does a bunch of high flying stuff. He feels generic as hell.
So I'll wait till we get a bit deeper in the match for my take on this. But what you just explained is basically how I feel about this entire match.
I mean, hey, it'd be like that. Sanjay Dutt's sweet. He's actually so good in the ring. It just sucks that he has the generic. I'm an Indian guy, so let's give me generic Indian.
TV, like wrestling. That's all they did for those Indian dudes, and I feel so bad for all of them. They never got a chance. So, like, their whole bit was like, I'm Indian and I'm coming out in like a hijab or something. Like,
and it's like okay, I mean, cool. I just don't understand. Like, if I felt like there could be more to these gimmicks than just I'm Indian.
And like some of them, like they started it because they actually were that way, like way back in the day, like Iron Sheik and such. But it's like,
well, yes, Iron Sheik actually came over from Saudi Arabia. He wore the headdress all the time. He's like, no, this is just literally who I am and part of my culture. And like Sanjay Dutt was born in Detroit, Michigan. I'm almost positive.
Yeah. You're probably right.
Sanjay, I might have him confused with somebody else. Sanjay Dutt.
Birthplace.
He's born in Washington, D.C.
Oh my! So the most American place you can be born in.
He's literally born in the capital, and his whole gimmick is, "Hey, I am a Indian professional wrestler." Does he? I don't know. If we ever start a professional
minimize your application, just so you know, bud.
Whoops a daisy.
Well, Gucci. I just want to make sure I'm still able to see it, so we can talk about this like we're supposed to.
You're all good.
Yeah, no, the 6-sided ring looking great. I just don't. I'm not a fan of Team International at all. Team Canada's kind of got something going for them. I'll give them that.
Team Canada was a heel group in the last year of TNA, and like the maybe last 6 months. But it was basically
like they never were over for me. You know what I mean?
I get it. The crowd, you're supposed to hate them. They're boo. You're basically the same but different.
And fair, but some other heels, I guess I'm more of a fan of the heels that you end up loving because they're so good at what they do.
You see, you know what? Fair enough. I love all the people in this group in Team Canada so much. I think they all went on to do great things. Petey Williams had an awesome run with Scott Steiner where he was little Petey Pump, and he was teaming with Scott Steiner as Big Papa Pump, and it's like, oh, this is so sweet.
Is that Lil Petey Pump is the one where he does the Steiner math?
Yes.
Or is that a different guy? Okay.
Little,
I couldn't remember. Yeah, so that's cool.
That's Petey
Okay, I like that guy a little bit more.
And like a lot of these guys were all TNA mainstays, at least for Team Canada. Eric Young
bumped up at one point. See, I never watched TNA as much as you did.
Oh, like, you see, I was faithfully watching TNA every day since like every they used to be on Wednesdays and then they switched to Thursdays.
See, I have like the weirdest thing at that time for me, about the same age because we're just like but a couple of years apart. I want to say, give or take. So for me, it was like at the time ECW came on Sci-Fi. And like I said, I just got done watching all the on-demand stuff on Dish for ECW. So then I just started watching ECW on Sci-Fi. So I got to watch Johnny Nitro. The Miz's first fucking gimmick on ECW was awesome. I don't care what anyone says. It was an insane gimmick, wearing a fedora and like jean shorts, but you know.
Bro, that was the most 2008 gimmick I could think of.
I know, but I loved it, dude. It was like fucking John Morrison always being John Morrison, but. Sorry, continue.
All right, let's get back to the action here at hand on TNA Impact as we get back to recalling this show. Well, we have Hector Garza, Sanjay Dutt, and Amazing Red starting in the ring while Team Canada. I love that Sanjay Dutt and Amazing Red immediately go for the sentons, and then Hector Garza following right behind, knowing he's not on camera, doesn't do the spot yet. That's a worker right there. That's a worker right there. He knows what he had to hold his spot because he was late. But at the same time,
they're all good workers, but they all feel like first carders. You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, you know what? Fair enough. But at the same time, this is these guys' first real company that they like wrestling company that with TV and all of that. Amazing Red did work a little bit at the end of ECW, I believe. But these guys.
I'm so used to TNA, like the era I watch was the era of like a bunch of the WWE has-beens.
You see this early era, like the first, there are a lot of WWE has-beens that come into TNA throughout the years, but there's always this influx. I looked at it more of like the old guard teaching the new guard.
Yeah, no. So like, I'm just saying some of them. They like, it just seems like the moment like WWE would release a wrestler for like horrible reasons, TNA would scoop them up and you'd see them next fucking Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah.
So there's just issues here and there for me when it comes to it. But like one person I will always think of when it comes to TNA, I don't care what anyone says, it's Sting.
No, yeah, he held out. He stayed away from TNA long enough until they can get money to actually pay him for a decent contract. He came and worked for them and worked his ass off, proving that he could still go.
What's crazy is he was getting offers too from other companies, and he still said no over and over from bigger companies as well. Like he had an offer to come to ECW when they came on Sci-Fi, and he said no. Because he actually believed in TNA.
WWE, I mean, and another thing, Sting has ties to the NWA, and right now this is NWA TNA.
Exactly.
TNA hasn't broken away and tried to create their own belts yet and just be like their own standalone company. They're still partnered with NWA.
But I respect that they ended up doing it and like breaking away because it's like, hey, we're gonna do our own thing. We don't want to like.
We don't want to have to be tied to. We don't want to have to be associated with
belt and your tradition.
Exactly. They literally what they ended up doing is hey, we don't want to deal with the booking committee. We're not going to do anything crazy with the belts. We're gonna bring our and try to put over our own champions now that we're an established brand.
Yeah, we just don't want to like. At the same time, we're going to respect you. Thank you so much, but we're not going to desecrate you by like changing your belt.
Exactly. We're not going to change the 10 pounds of gold.
Exactly. Because it's like, NWA, if people don't know NWA, they should. Like, no matter what. It's like, that's the reason we got what we have here. And, like, not even just here, but, like, anything we're watching nowadays, like modern wrestling, NWA.
Right. Like WWE wouldn't have been a thing without the NWA. It was the original.
WCW, because it's just a butterfly effect.
Exactly. Yeah, Scott, the more beat up Amazing Red. Yeah, drunk uncle getting involved in the action. Love to see it.
Dude, Fat Joey Styles going crazy.
Fat Joey Styles. You see, you saying like I loved this match when I was watching it for the review.
See, I it's just so predictable to me. It's like such a but like here's the thing. I have it down as a 3 out of 5. I'm just gonna spoil that right now because it's like such a perfect like first card match, but it's so predictable in that sense.
I didn't I said that I gave it a 3.7 out of 5 stars. I said it was a really solid opener for TNA's first TV show, not on a pay-per-view. You know, it helps put over some of the new guys, shows off some of the cool shit that they can do and why you should be watching this over WWE.
I said it's a great first match, but like you just said, I did not agree that's a good reason to watch it over WWE. I think they could have done so much better with the TNA talent that they had at the time.
Well, you know, it's the opening card spot. You know, you got to give it to the young up and comers. It's their job to make sure that that everybody's hyped for the show.
I get you. I just get them. Okay, the reason I'm just the second match that comes up after. That's why I don't like that this is so predictable.
Okay,
because the second match is equally as predictable.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
I that second match, you as soon as you see it, you're like, oh, you know what's happening. I love both people that are in the match, but you know exactly what's going on.
And I have like a pretty good, well, we're in like MLA formatted fucking paragraph or two on that one. It's upsetting because it's like, damn, I get it. Fuck. But yeah, that's the only reason I don't like that. But while I'm here, I do want to talk about. I love the fact that fucking Mike Tenay makes this feel like a goddamn boxing event. Yes. I used to watch boxing with my dad in the 90s, from the 90s, because he'd show old videos with me. And the whole thing with it being, like, you see the Fox Sports FSN, the whole, like, timer on the top makes it feel like a fucking real event. There's a timer, it lets you know. I'm a huge fan of that. Huge fan of that.
I actually wrote that down in my notes as well. I wrote that I love the sports feel that you get from watching from the the sports or Fox Sports Net. Mind you, I just want to talk about this one sequence right here. Hector Garza.
Oh yeah, dude. I did write in my notes. It gets so much better at the end.
This power bomb, like it's picking up. Then it's Sanjay Dutt with a Dragon Rana. That's insane. Eric Young.
Leading up to all this is just too predictable, in my opinion, though. That's the issue I have.
Hey, you know what? You can't play your whole card. I don't think you should play your whole hand at the very start of your show for the very first episode of your TV show.
No, I'm just saying the second. Well, no, well, because I know the second card, but like a different second card should have gone first. You know what I mean?
A different. I think that we can disagree.
Second card.
We can agree to disagree, but I love this match for the simplicity of it. Hector Garza gets pulled out. Sanjay Dutt goes high, and we see Bobby Roode just immediately cut it off.
Sanjay Dutt is amazing at selling. Can we just talk about that?
He is, and then just the reversal he does, that reversal from the Razor's Edge into a Hurricanrana, so sweet, so crisp. And that corkscrew moonsault with Hector Garza, it was so sweet. This was this match felt like it was going 100 miles a minute. It may have felt predictable, but it literally showed the action that TNA is, the nonstop action.
I love the dude in the mask in the background, by the way.
Yeah, the two dudes in the back.
White mask. Yeah, the white and the red mask. The two dudes, just friends, fucking just enjoying it. You know they just got back, fucking enjoying from Universal, like fucking fucking Steve. What's this? Steve Rogers Diner. Over America's Diner. That's what it is. I remember I've eaten there. It's awesome. It sucks that they didn't have fucking Impact going on when I was there.
Fair enough. All right, I actually have notes written down that I think Don West and Mike Tenay, one of the most underrated tag team combos ever. Like, if we had a tag team company or a wrestling company, I would want them to be my tag team of commentators. You know what I mean? I want two people that are just this good.
Tenay with Jerry Lawler. I think that would be an amazing duo.
Jerry Lawler just cutting off Mike Tenay at every moment, going, "Oh my God, titties!"
and stuff like that. Yeah, no, I just think it would be like the color commentator, but like Mike Tenay, I just feel like when he's commentating, I feel like I'm watching a fucking boxing event, and I guess that's why I'm a little like weary on Don, because Don just makes me feel like I'm watching like an independent wrestling promotion, but it's just because of how into it he is. So I just need to like watch more to let him grow on me, you know. But I love Mike Tenay. The way he dresses, the way he talks is like. And the red corner and the blue corner, like, that's exactly, like, it's not what he's saying, but it's exactly how it fucking feels. I also did commentate. I literally made an edit, commented on my first paragraph. How many fucking times are they going to mention that the 6-sided ring brings up more opportunities than the 4-sided? We get it.
Hey, you know, I
love it, but it's like damn, bro. They don't shut up about it. Oh my god. I had comments about this. What the fucking Toby Keith is here? Mm-hmm. That's all my comments says. Toby Keith is here?
So I have a very very similar one. I know this is on the very first episode of NWA TNA, and now he's mad at Jeff Jarrett because Jeff Jarrett interrupted him.
Doing stupid Scott Hall bullshit.
I love that. I wrote
Besides making more money in his contract because he's really smart in what he wrote in it.
I wrote that I love that Jeff Jarrett is an asshole to Toby Keith. F Toby, rip Toby in the chat.
All jokes aside, though, Toby Keith as a
this is the one I wrote.
This is what I also wrote. Why the fuck is Brian Urlacher here?
Yeah,
sorry. And then I put in quotations or whatever quotations. I put hair locker. For no reason.
Hair locker is crazy.
What's hair locker doing here?
As Synthwave Cowboy and I being Chicago natives, just seeing Brian Urlacher show up, I did not remember this at all. I've watched a lot of the old NWA TNA, and I just don't remember this. Why did he show
Brian
up?
Hair Locker here.
I also have that written down. Brian Urlacher shows up in TNA? Question mark, question mark, question mark. I said it, and then I also put in quotations. Might have to try to find that episode so we can rip into it and make fun of the Bears at the same time. Oh my god, it blew me away. I laughed my ass off when I saw that the first time on the rewatch.
I'm so glad you figured out to actually full screen this so I can watch it full screen with you.
Oh yeah.
Got my notes brought up on my phone, so that's a lot easier.
Hell yeah. We're currently at about 20 minutes as we see the sweet Abyss highlight package.
I like the Abyss highlight package.
I'm a little upset that they gave Shark Boy. Definitely.
Our boy.
Man, if I had to pick a top 5 boys stable, boys meaning like dudes aren't winning the title, Shark Boy's definitely in there. I'm putting Shark Boy in that.
Number 2.
Him and Hurricane.
Number 1 Hurricane.
I was gonna say him and Hurricane. Yep. They had to be a team together that would have been a sweet team. Another person that I just felt should have been in TNA or out of TNA and in WWE. Imagine how sweet this Abyss would have looked facing the Undertaker.
I have my takes on Abyss. I'm not a fan of him at all, actually. Just because I get what his gimmick is supposed to be, and even my girlfriend called it out. I'm like, hey, what do you think this is supposed to be? Like, last night we were watching this match, and she was like,
Team Undertaker.
I don't know, Kane. She goes, Kane and Mankind? And I'm like, that's so real. All of those are very, and it's like, it's just annoying. I don't like this match at all.
Yeah, this match I gave this like a 1 out. I think I gave this a 1 out of 5 stars on my match rating.
I give it a 0.5 because I get the story they're trying to tell, and that's so valid. You don't have to tell it in this type of way. You could have given our boy Shark Boy some more time because I think literally in the time I'm gonna get done with this monologue, he's gonna lose this match.
Yeah, this match is short. I think it's only like 3 minutes. I love that.
I literally wrote down in my notes, it's one of the quickest squash matches I've ever seen in my fucking life.
Well, I mean, it is the point of a squash match. Squash matches are to make Abyss look like a killer.
Yeah, but like, also Shark Boy, give him a little bit of the underdog story, just a little bit.
I agree. I agree. Even if I knew that Abyss is gonna win, I want to see
root for him a little bit more. Exactly. Like, let him think he might get it, because like.
By the way, okay, can we just talk? I just want to go back. Can we watch this? We need to see this black hole slam. Going for the shock treatment, awesome move in my opinion. It's literally a torture rack, and then he sits out and breaks his back. Look at just how Shark Boy flies around with that black hole slam. That looks so good.
Dude, he's got like lucha in his fucking blood, and it's just annoying that they like. This match should have been at least like 2 more minutes. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
Like, at least let me believe in Shark Boy a little bit more. I understand he's still gonna lose, but like, let the crowd be like, "Woo!" Because it's like when you see this shit, you're never gonna believe he's gonna win a match ever.
But if you make the crowd you have to make the crowd buy into that. Also, I wrote this down in my notes.
Why the fuck is my girlfriend agreed. What? Yeah, imagine losing a match and then Popeye comes up to comfort you.
Popeye the fucking Sailor Man shows up.
You lose a match and then Popeye comes to comfort you after. Imagine.
All right. So, I love this tag team. I love the tag team America's Most Wanted, but I hate Kid Cash and Dallas.
I love Dallas, and I'm a big fan of Kid Cash. So actually, we got different takes.
Which is like, I love Kid Cash. I think Dallas is just knockoff Test. He's Temu Test.
So he kind of is, but I like what, in the same vein, you like Abyss. I like Dallas. You know what I mean?
Fair enough.
I like the way he used that type of gimmick and ran with it.
Fair enough. I don't know. I also, like, going into this, I knew what the next TNA NWA pay-per-view was. So I knew that, and I knew that it was going to be Triple X versus America's Most Wanted for the titles.
See, I don't know much about this at all.
So, like,
dude, I love the green when they fucking come in with fucking Kid Cash. Yeah. Green and yellow as far as for the fucking, dude.
I absolutely, like, Kid Cash is another ECW dude who got there way too late. If he was maybe like 2 years earlier, he would have been huge, and he would have been so huge in ECW.
I feel like Dallas would have done a lot more if, because here's the thing, that gimmick they gave him the gimmick. It wasn't his choice. In his indie run, it was completely different, and it was so much cooler.
See, I don't know anything about his indie run. I don't know anything about this wrestler, or I do know Kid Cash, and I've seen a lot of his Ring of Honor stuff, and I've seen his TNA stuff. Great wrestler. Now, America's Most Wanted, on the other hand, I loved this team as a kid. They were just two cowboys that came and wrestled and did super kicks and shit.
Gotcha. But yeah, no, Dallas is a cool fucking wrestler. He deserves his due creds.
I also wrote down, why does Dallas have a tramp stamp?
That I'll never understand personally. That's
I also wrote out Dallas's fantasy wrestler. Our friend Dallas's fantasy wrestler, since Dallas is so short.
Literally, because he's 6'8" or whatever. I can't remember how tall he is. But yeah, no. So, in his indie run afterwards, he becomes like a much cooler wrestler, where he's like more hardcore and less like literally looks like a mix between. He's literally. I hope you know what they were trying to go for in TNA. Brood Christian, but taller.
Interesting.
Well, not Brood. The one where he had the fishnets.
Got you. I see what you're saying.
See, because like the glasses and everything.
I get that. I see that now.
So they were just making him taller Christian, and a part of it was because TNA was like really, really, really trying to get Christian to join them, which he eventually did, thank God, because Christian's like one of the best things TNA ever had.
I agree with that wholeheartedly. Christian being the NWA World's Heavyweight Champion was one of the highlights of TNA when I was a kid.
Dude, he deserved every part of that.
That he got his roses because WWE would give it to him.
No, exactly, and he deserved his roses, but it's just because Edge. And it's so funny because him and Adam Copeland are actually friends in real life still to this day, and they have no hard feelings. He's like, I'm really happy they gave it to him, but it sucks because apparently Adam Copeland literally like fucking almost lost his job about bitching that Christian wasn't getting anything. Like, and there's like he told a whole story about it. I can't remember what random interview I was watching. It wasn't Chris Van Vliet, but random interview I was watching, and he was like, yeah, no, like Adam almost lost his job because of that. But sorry, back to the actual match. That was a fucking awesome spot.
See, I love the America's Most Wanted tag team finisher.
See, fair enough.
And like that was a reason I loved him as a kid. So basically, what Chris Harris would hold them across like wheelbarrow style over his knees, and then James
coming in Dallas,
and then James Storm would jump off the top rope and do a leg drop. It's so
he did some of his best wrestling on TNA. It's just he had the worst gimmick. That's the problem. Like, look at that. I love that fucking move.
That's a great spot. A cool tag team. That's a really good spot for the tall guy, small guy spot. This kid, only people like Kid Cash could do something like that. That man defies gravity. Gravity pays him to stay in the air.
Literally.
Wait, I also wrote down the commercial break was about 1:30.
Oh really?
Yeah, I wrote. Here, watch here before they go to ad break. if you look closely, they're at 26:36, and then when you come back, it is 24.
Yeah, damn.
Almost exactly a minute 30. It's like a minute and 35. Minute 30.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, there's definitely like one of those fucking like ads for like a prescription medication you never worried about in your entire life.
Which I just laughed as I'm watching this that they still include the ad break and this isn't like a raw footage.
I love how Kid Cash is the exact same height as a small ass referee.
Yeah. You know what's crazy? TNA wanted to push Chris Harris over James Storm, even though James Storm was the better one.
Let's acknowledge something about TNA real quick. Based on the year it came out and their smaller budget, they had an amazing production value.
They really did, and that could all be thanks to Jerry Jarrett, who really helped out with the financing of the early TNA.
I love this spot right here.
I do too.
Just
I also,
what the fuck?
Can we also just take a moment? Can we go back to this look at Dallas after he misses. He's like, "What fucking shit, man?"
Yeah, that's what I said. He literally goes, "What?" He literally goes, "What the fuck?" He's like, "What the fuck, man? Like you suck. Tag me in. Since you're gonna suck. Get over here. Tag me in." He's like, "Do I have to get in here myself?" And then boom, boom, taking his bumps.
They're not his bumps yet. As soon as he hits the map, he's taking some hits. Not taking a bump though. There's his bump. The crossbody is the bump.
Considering how stiff that motherfucker is hitting him, I'm gonna call that a bump. I know it's a hit, but I'm gonna always call that a bump. Jesus Christ, though.
Bro, that lariat if that would have connected, that would have been a Stan Hansen lariat, bro.
I love this shit right here. It's so fucking cool.
It's like a reverse. It's like that is actually a sweet spot. That is a sweet move. And that spear looks like it just kills. It just kills him. Like turned inside out.
I love Breaker got nothing on that spear. Watch this. Yep. I love Dallas was so good at taking fucking like you sell like a motherfucker right then and there. All pissed off. Love it.
Heated, bro. Great.
Like, look at him. He just never got his roses. I'm sorry. I love Dallas. He never got his roses.
I ended up giving this a 3 out of 5 stars just because I know that Triple X versus America's Most Wanted is the big money match, and that's a pay-per-view match. But I wrote down
3 as well for me.
I wrote down that this is a really good feel good moment. And I thought that this really helped TNA.
I love that it pushed Kid Cash in Dallas. It pushed Kid Cash in Dallas.
I did write that down in my notes too. That Kid Cash and Dallas, as much as I thought Dallas looked kind of like generic Test, they put on a good match. And it was shorter. I wish it was. I felt if they would have gave this the main, it probably would have gone nuts.
It's because TNA at this time, unfortunately, was like riding off of trends really hard. Is like what was sticking with wrestling fans. So like. Test and Christian were riding hard, and they were also really trying to get Christian in by like having a guy basically mock his design. That's a little thing, by the way. That's why they ended up getting. That's part of why they tried to do it like that to get Christian Cage. And I guess it worked because
he eventually
joined. Cage, best TNA wrestler. You know, Sting's number 2. I don't care what anyone says. I'm sorry. That's my opinion. God, I love this.
You love this?
I love this so much. It's such a hard ass fucking like transition to a commercial.
And I love this man that's about to come out, but his theme here sucks all the dick.
Oh, it's garbage. Actually fucking cheeks.
Actually doo-doo.
But like Mike TNA going crazy also.
Yet again. Just Mike TNA's so good on the mic.
The mic design was awesome. As much as the music sucks, I love the like whatever those are, the stars.
Like the spurs. I thought they were. I wrote them down as spurs, but yeah, they might be stars.
We could probably both be right. Look at Dusty, and I'm so happy. The crowd is so happy to see him.
They love this man. Who doesn't love Dusty Rhodes?
I know, but just like considering like, you know, you see like indie wrestling fans sometimes they're like, "Fuck you, modern like mainstream wrestlers, kill yourself," like kind of energy. And when they see Dusty Rhodes, they are just so happy. Like I love it.
See, like
Just
here's
fucking standing ovation. This man deserves a standing ovation every time it comes out.
Dusty was one of those people that he's like, I like to go to these. Once I got really big, I like to go to these smaller promotions, and go do my stuff there because like I like working for like these. Give everybody a chance. I want to give them that story and let them feel that story.
I know, Daddy-o. Dude, I can't wait. We gotta cop those Y2J fucking jerseys.
Hell yeah, that'd go so hard. And then we gotta go to we gotta go to a Fozzy show with it.
Dude, you were talking about freelance, right?
Yeah. Wait, can we talk real quick about how
his hat, it goes over his eyes?
Well, I was gonna say that Dusty also has like the fucking I ride a Harley Davidson mustache going on.
Oh yeah, yes. He looks like he's about to say, "Sorry, liberal snowflake," in like 20 seconds. But no. So freelance actually on the site I was going on for Ring of Honor merchandise. Freelance actually has merchandise on there. They're one of the top sellers. They're above Ring of Honor on the site.
Oh, bro, that's awesome.
I wanted to tell you about that. I just thought that was a really, really cool thing. I'm very happy about that.
We love our local Chicago indie fed. We love freelance pro wrestling. Shout out, guys! Check out their freelance versus CZW match cards. Those are sweet. You might even be able to see me in the crowd at those.
I know. You and I got to get to a match at some point here soon.
They're coming soon. We'll have to go. We'll have to buy the DVD and we'll do a review of it.
Oh, of course, we'll do it both. We'll see it live. Throw clips in there for the YouTube fans.
So Dusty right now is. I like that he says that Jeff Jarrett isn't. I really like that in this promo. Dusty Dusty gives good promos no matter what.
Captions on for me if you don't mind. Thank you, sir. Perfect. You're good. Appreciate you. Because I remember what they say, but during this promo, I don't remember what Dusty says. So I just want to be able to read it.
I love that Dusty's here putting over putting over TNA and the whole company.
Immediately.
When he
can put himself over.
But Dusty was great about that. He would join these smaller promotions and try to help raise their bar and make them feel like bigger deals than they really were.
Crazy, bro. It's like I feel like when you get to that point, I would want to go crazy. But he's like, "What do you talk about NWA history? You talk about the tradition." It's like, dude, he just starts to keep talking. Nature Boy Buddy Rogers. Talk about Jack Briscoe. There we go.
He puts himself over, but after he puts the line of people in front of him who held the belt. He pays he pays the respect that is due. Everybody could learn a thing or two by watching a couple Dusty Rhodes promos.
No, definitely. He's such a sweet guy. You can tell. He might put himself over because he believes in himself, but the only reason he believes in himself is because all these other people before him believed in themselves, and he knows they paved a way for him.
I love I also labeled this the Dusty Rhodes Town Hall featuring Mike Tenay.
Literally, bro, might as well be. Speaking of Dusty Rhodes, I love the little shorts you got on the corner right there on the right, in the middle. I had to call that one out. Sorry, it was just funny because we're talking about Dusty.
But
I had been there the whole time. I was just waiting.
I actually wrote this one down in my notes because I really like this. I really like this part of how he says for a long time I thought Jeff was part of the brotherhood of tradition, the brotherhood of old school ways, the old the brotherhood of NWA, but Jeff Jarrett is a sellout. I love that he like I love this promo. It's not like his best, but I think it's a great promo nonetheless. I'm enthralled. And then, you know, the Jeff Jarrett music hits.
Fuck this guy.
Oh, I love to hate Jeff Jarrett.
I hate Jeff Jarrett. Fuck this guy.
I love Jeff Jarrett, but I love to hate Jeff Jarrett. Does that make sense? That's why I love Jeff Jarrett.
No, I'm a mark when it comes to this guy. I believe it. I hate this guy. Fuck this guy.
Bro, you thought Triple H's Reign of Terror was bad in 2003? Nah, bro. The Jeff Jarrett Reign of Terror from 2002 to 2006 was crazy. Chokehold on TNA.
Was it because his dad was a part of the company?
It's because literally Jeff Jarrett.
I know.
Jeff Jarrett, his dad, and then they sold the company off to Dixie Carter after it started making money. So that way they're like, we need to make our losses back. We need to feed our families.
You been doing it, Dusty? Deathly.
The crowd just going crazy for the chanting for elbows.
They want to see him go. Ho, 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 ho.
I don't have a whole lot to say about Jeff Jarrett on the mic here. He basically just calls Dusty old and then says he's like, hey, what are you here for? Are you here because you're broke and you need money?
Early 2000s promo. You know, I know no issues here.
It's literally just, what, you broke? I got money. You just come to me for a loan.
You need 200, 300? You need $200? Just like offering the lowest fucking amount possible too to make him feel bad. Typical heel. No issues here. Like I genuinely have no issues on this one. Jeff Jarrett's a great heel. I just don't like him. And I'll be a mark. I don't care. He's playing a character. Don't like him still.
Fair enough. I did like this part. This part made me pop. Say that
10-gallon hat makes me laugh so fucking hard every time.
10-gallon
hat. That Doug Dimmadome ass fucking cowboy hat needs to get out of here. Dusty, you need to get rid of that Doug Dimmadome ass hat.
I love that he's doing
Why
his
is
little
it
walk.
so far over his eyes?
I love the goosling with the hat, bro. Just beats
the so hard.
It just beats the fuck out of it with the hat.
Jeff Jarrett is selling the fuck out of Dusty's moves, which he typically wasn't the best at selling. So it's really sweet. You can actually tell he cares about this guy, respects him.
Dusty, if you watch a lot of his older matches after he's no longer.
Oh shit! What's up?
What's up?
What's up? What's up,
bro? This is
Ron
what
Killings in his earlier days, dude. He was a fucking aerial demon.
Also,
look at that.
Former world heavyweight champion of the NWA, Ron Killings.
Dude, he was so good at selling and just so much fucking. He was so agile. He's still so agile at this point in his fucking age.
3 Live Crew, Conan and Road Dogg, along with Ron the Truth Killings.
There's Conan. The only thing that was cool about this whole group was Ron the Truth killing the Killings. I'm not gonna lie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I don't like Road Dogg. I think he's all right.
Conan's okay.
I think Conan's a really good wrestler, but him on the mic,
he's a great wrestler, but his gimmick and his like you just said, his promos always sucked. Every gimmick he's had has sucked.
See, okay, my favorite thing about Conan is when he starts leading the Latin American exchange, which I think that happens in like 2005. Way sweeter.
Oh, here's the worst guy ever, Vince fucking Russo.
Vince Russo is coming to talk.
So why did they shoot this like someone fucking died?
Bro, seriously, I was gonna say this is the most sad promo ever, but all the spots are so sweet.
Like they cut it like it's like a 90s like documentary for like there's like 2 vibes. I literally wrote in the edits for this though. They're talking about a dead wrestler, or it's like one of those weird like dare promos. They're like the late 90s, where it's like, don't do drugs, kids.
Bro, yes.
Actually,
and then,
get into wrestling.
And then you know what?
Or something. Like,
then you know
it's
what?
So weird.
I was gonna say, you know what?
That dude loves guys. Sorry,
Jeremy Borash.
Yeah, look at that. Look at him. Come on, man. Frosted tips and the fucking puka shell necklace. Oh, I love this so much, though. Such a cool fucking spot.
Oh, we'll have to watch Turning Point 2004 one day, and we'll do a review on that so you can see the best one of the tightrope walks.
I love that they just learned how to word art worked when they fucking made this promo.
Yeah, I said this feels like this feels very 1995, but we're in 2004.
You know that one promo with the fucking the kazooie or whatever kid?
Yes. All right. I hate this dude. He is just a oh my god, he just
You know how Stephanie McMahon told Maven he needed to shave his eyebrows? Fucking somebody to tell Vince Russo the same goddamn thing. Alright.
So I
It's crazy how long in the game Chris Sabin has been.
I agree. But now here's my whole gripe with this is all of these guys got your brony treatments. Chris Sabin
yes,
because
is one person.
Because of AJ Styles, who gets the Hulk Hogan treatment right now. He's going back to the X Division.
I'm not a big AJ Styles fan from this era. Yes, he did his best wrestling at this time. I just hate how he got the Hulk Hogan treatment, like you just said. I just hate that he got the Hulk Hogan treatment. Like, he did his best wrestling, though. I'm not gonna say he was a bad wrestler.
He is the best wrestler on TNA's roster, or on TNA's books at the moment.
I agree, but they kept doing that for years when I would disagree. I would say he was tied at at you know what I mean, at best.
See, my whole problem is that they act like him going back to the X Division is this big monumentous moment, but it's like, no, you know what? I made this title what it is. I'm gonna prove
it makes fucking sense.
I'm gonna go back to it and raise the bar of it once again. You guys aren't even gonna touch my bar.
It's like early 2000s SmackDown being surprised to see Batista going back for the heavyweight championship. Oh my god.
Exactly.
Would have thought.
Or like Chris
the guy I think of when I see that belt.
I was gonna say, or like if you were watching Monday Night Raw in this era, Chris Jericho it seemed like he was all over that Intercontinental scene with Shelton Benjamin.
Oh yeah, Shelton Benjamin though just looked right with that fucking belt. I ain't gonna lie.
And so did Chris Jericho. They both look great with it.
Yep. I actually have a thing on my Rise right now where I'm making basically a generic Lionheart Chris Jericho.
That's cool.
Yeah, that's just something I thought was kind of cool because I got the bandana from R-Truth Judgment Day.
So
I love how fucking agile AJ Styles is back in the day though.
Bro, yeah.
Once again though, why does he have this haircut here? But nowadays he has the long soccer mom emo boy fucking haircut, scene kid 2007 MySpace ass fucking haircut. Dude, he looked good. I'm not trying to be a weirdo when I say that. It looked fine. It looked good. He looked fine.
Yeah, you know what?
Get a short haircut again, bro. You look okay. You look good.
I think he should go back to it now that he's an adult. He is. I feel like he's hitting the twilight of his career.
Yeah, he's too old.
This is 20 years ago, bro.
Yeah, this is fine. That's nowadays he's too old to have that long hair. If he had it here, fine. Chad Gable has already done that, and he's in the peak, the start peak, whatever the pinnacle, whatever of his career, whatever technical term would be. You know what I mean? Sorry, just personal gripe with AJ Styles because I'm dude, you look like an adult here, and then he grew up, and you're anyway, soccer mom haircut.
I just want to talk about the air that Sabin gets on this drop kick though. It
insane.
Feels
in a 4-ring mat, that's almost a coast to coast, if I'm not wrong.
And then Elix Skipper coming out, primetime Elix Skipper, one of the most underrated wrestlers in TNA at this time. He's so good.
Yeah, no, primetime goes crazy.
Crazy way to get out of it, and then the kick to seal it all up goes for an enziguri. And then Michael Shane. I hate that his whole gimmick is he's just Shawn Michaels' cousin.
I wish they would have done more with that though. It would have been funny if he was Shawn Michaels' cousin and they did more with it.
He was like the hick version, like instead of the pig fuck kid or something.
Like he like Michael or Shawn Michaels did like the Playgirl shit.
Yeah.
They had him doing like even like more generic bullshit fucking magazines that were clearly like targeted towards like gay men or something funny.
Right.
Like I think that would just been like funny, you know what I mean? Because like that is coming from a bi man. I'm not, like it would have been actually really hilarious because the whole gimmick with when they showed the Playgirl stuff with Shawn Michaels, everything's like, oh my god, look at you for the dudes, because we all know who watches wrestling, and it's like, yeah, fair enough actually. Most of us need to use deodorant in the wrestling community. I'm not included in that, thank God. Dude, I love this reversal though. Like I just wish they would have given him a better gimmick, like you said. Michael Shane is a great wrestler. He needs a different gimmick. Or done more with the gimmick they gave him.
Yes. And can we just go back? This move that Elite Skipper is about to do on Michael Shane, I hate this move. It looks so stupid. It looks like it hurts your knee more than it hurts them. So he would be driving his knee, but at the same time...
But it being reversed looks amazing, though. It makes sense.
Agreed. I just pop every time I see it because it's called the overdrive, and it's a stupid fucking move.
Yeah, no. There's quite a few though in wrestling that like just look like it hurts you way more, but that like shows you that they're a good wrestler. You know what I mean?
Right.
They're a safe wrestler. They're not trying to hurt you. They're gonna hurt themselves more. But here comes AJ Styles being dude. He was amazing back in the day. I get it. But Jesus, can we just not make him? He's like the CM Punk right now. He's like CM Punk of fucking TNA, and I get it. Why? But it's like, dude, please, can someone else get a chance?
Oh, and as you say, that Sabin just delivers an elbow drop and springboard and just it's so crisp with that tornado DDT from the springboard by Sabin to AJ. Only these two guys can really.
Join WWE like 8 years later than AJ. It's okay because that totally makes sense.
Chris Sabin will also show up in WWE just 20 years later.
Yeah, they both show up, but he's gonna show up 8 years later than AJ Styles, because that makes sense, right? He's definitely not an amazing wrestler already right now. In 2004.
What an explosive belly to belly though.
What sucks is Michael Shane he didn't do much after TNA.
Fair enough, but at the same time, he was pretty good.
Figure out a gimmick. No, he's great. He's a great wrestler. He just couldn't figure out a gimmick. Because he tried out like a couple different ones. A lot of it had to do with because he's a smaller wrestler. But I love this spot here. I love this fucking spot. Primetime's gonna hit it.
It's so
clearly it's botched, but he fucking fixes it and it looks right.
The
reason I'm telling you that it's clearly botched is because you can tell he puts his hands on the fucking apron, but he saves himself, which is awesome, and saves fucking Shane.
I was gonna say, speaking of botch.
Oh yeah, Botchamania is gonna love this one.
I did right though. Ryan, AJ's just running, calling the spots on the match. Basically, he's proven why he is the best.
Dude, he over jumped him, which is like the weirdest type of botch. Usually it's like an under. You know what I mean?
Right.
But he over jumped the fuck out of him, which is like, god damn, AJ, chill. Fucking Lakers need you or something. God damn. Bro, I don't. The hops are crazy on AJ Styles during this era.
Sabin just sent into that turnbuckle pad. Oh.
Look at Sabin. He's such a good wrestler. Oh, AJ Styles.
The botched Styles clash.
Oh, there we go. But this one's he always is really good at that face plant though. Gotta give him credit.
And like I already, as soon as they said that AJ Styles was the only person coming out, that's insane to me. I'm surprised that they just didn't try to do it like an Ultimate X match or something for the title and do like a 3-way Ultimate X match, which is something that TNA is known for. It's just weird that. Like that should have been the main event.
I also did acknowledge, because I'm a weirdo, the light show is awesome.
The lasers?
The way they use the lasers, the lights, everything perfect. Titantron on both sides, amazing. A little bullshit talk at the end is great.
I mean, overall,
I think it's a great episode. Overall, if I'm giving out of 5, that's a 4 out of 5.
That's to say, I said episode. I was gonna say for a whole episode, I gave it a 3.75. Because I'm like, it was awesome. I just didn't like the squash match. I felt that could have, like I said, could have been a little bit longer. And that last match, I gave it a 4. I gave it a 4 out of 5. I'm like
4.5 for me. That's why we're a little different. There's my even out.
I said the only reason I didn't like that they didn't put over any of the other guys in the X division. They just put over AJ Styles. Wait,
I think they put over Prime time a little bit, just a little bit with that fucking move. It just sucks that he botched a little bit, but it looked great when he botched it because it made sense. He like grabbed it and fucking pushed off. It's like, oh yeah, they looked like it would hurt someone.
Another thing,
you know what I mean? If you push off of something, you could fall back.
Going into this, I knew if you went into this watching any of the other like the NWA pay-per-views, you would know that Elix Skipper is actually involved in Triple X, and he's going to be in that tag team match for the titles. So it makes sense that he wouldn't win the match here tonight, and they are going to put him over. Chris Sabin, it just upsets me that they didn't put over Chris Sabin and Michael Shane. These two guys, like the two guys that are actually in the X division. Elix Skipper is.
I love Michael Shane, bro. It just sucks he didn't have a good career before or after TNA. Honestly, it's unfortunate. He just never could figure out a gimmick.
You're right.
Great wrestler, no gimmick.
You know, but I think that's all I think that's the end of the episode. So I think we just do a little outro now, as we're gonna be back with our next episode. Our next episode will be WCW Monday Night Nitro episode 1, live from the Mall of America, and we're gonna be doing a review of that. And I think we're gonna we're gonna start a WCW arc after that episode, you know, see where WCW takes us and how we respond to it, guys.
Oh, a little bit of WCW action. I'm excited.
I am excited because there's some WCW like Nitro before it went off the rails with NWO. It will be fun.
Exactly, but we got 2 words for you guys. We're taking over.
I've been tagged up Tyler, and that was Synthwave Cowboy, and we are the Midcard Mafia here. Thanks so much for listening, guys. Let us know what shows we should do next, and maybe keep your eyes on the YouTube. We're gonna try to get this on all streaming platforms. Share it with your friends. I guarantee you, your grandma will think we're funny. And we'll see you next time. Bye.